Why an organization is running? Every organization have its own stakeholders, including the owners, customers, competitors, society. Everyone is a part of stakeholders of an organization. As a result of a combined effort of these stakeholders, we can build a sustainable enterprise by including a proper governance and a proper leadership along with the good management system in an organization, whether it's an institution or it's any other enterprise organization, whatever it is. So by this criteria, they are looking for these three heads, how the college or the institution has been governed by the top authorities, how the leadership is taking good policies, creating policies, how the process is carrying out, and by management, how they are practically implementing these strategies and policies in the organization. So this is a criteria which is going to evaluate all these three heads, that is the governance, leadership, and management. Basically, in this criteria, it include all these areas like planning and process, policies, practices followed in organization, financial management for or how they are utilizing their resources in terms of finance or any other resources, and human resource, everything related to the faculty development, recruitment, performance appraisal, everything comes under this criteria. So these are the basic areas which covering under this criteria, which include these areas: planning, policies and practices of organization, financial management, that is resource mobilization, human resource, performance appraisal, recruitment, training. All these programs or all these areas comes under criteria 6. So these are the different 5 points or five heads comes under the or sub criteria comes under criteria 6. First one is institutional vision and leadership. We're talking about how the organization is formed, where the organization is going on, how they are evaluating whether they are going on the correct path, and what are the things they achieved, what is their perspective plan to complete in the next year or the coming years. Second category, that is 6.2, talking about the strategy development and deployment. It's a continuous. One second, one second. Hello? Okay. Sorry for the technical errors. 6.2, okay, I will explain 6.2 again. 6.1, as I said, where the organizations plan to be in the near future. 6.2 as a continuation of 6.1, which is talking about we want to explain one of the strategy which we are implemented or one of the plan which we are executed. And 6.3, where the HR department need to be contributed to complete this particular practice. This include all the HR practices, welfare measures, faculty trainings, non-teaching staff training. Everything comes under the third criteria, sub-criterion, that is faculty empowerment strategies, which include 30 marks, one of the highest grading criteria in this one. And 6.4 is talking about financial management and resource management, resource mobilization. So how the financial sources, from which are the various sources we have, how they are utilizing regarding the plan, or how we are utilizing that for students, which all the sources we are receiving the funds. That is talking about 6.4. 6.5, it's talking about IQAC, that is internal quality assurance system here. That's also include 30 marks. So these are the sub criteria comes under criteria 6. Now we can look the different number of questions and key indicators. As I mentioned, 6.1 is institutional vision and leadership. The top total score is 10 scores, and it includes two qualitative metrics, 5 each. 6.2, that's talking about strategy development and deployment. That's, as I mentioned, one strategy we have to explain which we are implemented, and it includes one quantitative metric question and two qualitative metrics. So qualitative at the total we have 6 points, and quantitative we have 4 grades, 4 marks. 6.3, faculty empowerment strategies that I already mentioned, 30 weightage or 30 scores, which includes two qualitative metrics for 5 marks each, and three quantitative metrics from for that 10, 5, 5 as a total 20 marks for quantitative metrics in 6.3. And in 6.4, we have talked to explain about the financial management and resource mobilization of the organization or institution, which is also have two qualitative metrics and one quantitative metrics. As a total, it's how the score, 20 score. And the last one, 6.5, that is IQAC or IQAS, it's for 30 score. It also have two qualitative metrics and one quantitative metrics. So directly we can move to the first one. As a total, we have 10 qualitative metric questions and 6 quantitative metrics for total 16 metrics. As a weightage, we're talking about 58 and 42 weightages for qualitative and quantitative. As a total, we have 100 weightage points. Okay, so as mentioned, this criteria actually it's easy to fill this criteria or complete the criteria in SSR because the majority part is belongs to qualitative metrics. But when we are writing these metrics or the SSR, we have to answer all these questions. These are the things which they are going to evaluate. The first one, where are we now? That is, we are already explained in extended regarding SWOT analysis. And the next question, where are we going? That is explained by our vision, mission, goals, and objectives, and other various cells and authority bodies we have. Where the organization or the institution we are planning to move. And the third question we have to answer is how are we going to do? That is through the leadership, that is the best leadership, policies, participative management, decentralization of management. These are the methods we want to adopt to reach our organization or to accomplish our vision or mission of the organization. And finally, how we know that whether we are going to the correct direction. That's why we have to evaluate the organization culture, feedback from stakeholders and their involvement in decision making, and the feedback system for all category, for students, faculties, or the management level, whoever we have to take feedbacks to ensure that we are moving towards the correct direction. So these are the four symbol. If we are writing something in the vision or mission, we want to explain, or then by the next questions, we want to support that we are trying to accomplish the vision and mission. And whenever we are checking about the vision and mission, is in sometimes in Naac videos themselves say that we can at least we have to keep the vision statement for 10 years. Vision can be revised, but once we need to after the accomplishment of vision, we can change it. Otherwise, we can't change it regularly. So at least at 10 years, we have to keep the vision. It is revisable, but only after we accomplish this. Okay. So anyway, the first question, which is talking about, 1 second. Okay. The first question, which is comes under this criteria that 6.1.1, the governance of the institution is reflective and in tune with the vision and mission of the institution. So here we have to explain the vision and mission statement of the organization in 500. Describe the vision and mission statement of the institution on the nature of governance, perspective plans, participation of teachers in the decision-making bodies of the institution with the maximum 500 words. So as I mentioned here, we have to describe the vision and mission statement. Along with that, we have to explain what are the governance method we are following, how it is contributing to our perspective plans. So in 500 words, we can include a brief history of the institution, how it is started, what was the aim at the level of starting, and what is the level of current status of the institution, how we step by step, how we increase it, and the vision and mission of the institution have to be explained here, that we describe, and the governance system, that means the different administrative bodies we have to organize, to control, to monitor different activities in the organization. And the next one is the perspective plan. That means the long plan what the organization have, like strategic plan or perspective plan for the next 10 years or 5 years. What is our plan? Where we want to see our organization after the 5 or 10 years? That is need to be explained by perspective plan. And participation of teachers in decision-making bodies. That means you can add any committee or bodies or what say association in the organization where the teachers are being a part and they can contribute their ideas, suggestions towards the decisions. So that can be added. So we have to add all these things, a brief history about the organization and the vision and mission, and supporting to that vision and mission, we need to have a good governance in the organization. As a result of all this, we want to see our organization in a long term, long period of time after 10 or 5 years, long period of area, and the participation of teachers in decision making. That means over which all the areas which teachers can be contributed towards the decision or their suggestions can be added. After, as a sub point of this one, we can add the file two areas for supporting our opinion or 500 word explanation. So the first one is that we can paste a link for additional information that can be added the documents related to board of management, vision and mission, which is placed in, it should be in the website and should be placed in the organization, the photographs of the pasted in the college and screenshot from the website, and the organogram of the institute should be in the website, that also have to be added here. Then IQA system, academic council, anything where teacher is being a part of decision making or making their opinion, that can be added as participative management. And also we have to add all these things. Simply we could say that we can upload or we can paste a link towards a document contains a screenshot of vision and mission, photographs of vision and mission, and the management board details. And the website link can be pasted related to IQAS, Academic Council, Management Board, and the one page or a sample copy of minutes can be added here. The second option is we can upload any other additional information where you can add all the committees in the organization. Governance and participative in management through committees like Students Welfare Committee, Grievance Redressal Committee, Women's Cell, Minority Cell, OBC Cell, Internal Complaints Cell, SCST Committee, Anti-Ragging, Strategic Plan. Likewise, all the committees or anything which can be related to the vision and mission. So actually, whatever we are doing in an organization, that should have a relation with the vision and mission. So in here, it's not a difficult term. We can find out so much document. So this is the first one, 6.1.1, where we have to explain the vision and mission in 500 words. These are the supporting documents which we can use for it. The second point, that is the second sub criteria, which leading to 6.1.2, that's also a qualitative metrics for 5 marks. The effective leadership is visible in various institutional practices, such as decentralization and participative management. Here, as I mentioned, it's a continuation of the 6.1.1, where we are saying that we have this kind of leadership practice, we have this kind of participative management, we are following decentralization. Here, we have to explain it, what kind of leadership pattern, how the decentralization is taking place, how the participative management students or faculties can contribute their decisions towards the decision or suggestions towards the decision making. So here, we have to rate a case study without explaining, and we have to describe a case study showing the decent. Okay, so here we have to explain a case study within 500 words that need to be covered, or what we have to ensure here is the case study should be from a student side or a faculty side, which is coming from the bottom to up. That means all level of organogram, when we are talking about organogram, top level to the bottom level need to be part of it. When we are writing a case study, suppose we can see that in SSR, we see that when a company or college is going to create, develop or construct their new building, they're taking opinion from students, alumni, and their society, like all the stakeholders, parents, teachers, management, like everyone is going to contribute their ideas, suggestions related to what kind of building or new building they want. So based on that, likewise, we have to rate a case study. Suppose students need something, they want to a new facility in your organization, your institution. So they are giving a request to the grievance committee forwarding to the director making a discussion on it on the higher authority, and as a result, the facilities available in the college that can be also given as a case study. But here, what we have to think is, what we have to clearly we have to do it. This comes from the top to bottom approach. Something from the top, and we are insisting or we are conducting that, that's not comes under decentralization. So authority and the participative management should be visible in that case study. And one thing is we have to take in care is when we are talking about a new what's the facility which is students needed, when we are writing a case study which is students needed in the college, it shouldn't make any contraction with the legal requirement or statutory requirement. For example, if you're rating that students are requesting for new computers or additional systems or additional other facility, which is required or which is what say mandatory to have in a college by AICT or UGC. So while we are rating a case study, we want to make sure that whatever we are rating is an additional thing, an extra thing which we are providing to the students, which is not comes under the statutory part of UGC or AICT. So that is the case study part we have to upload or write a 500 ways case study. And for that,
We will check the sound system and resume.
hello. Okay. So here, as I mentioned, we have to write a 500 words case study regarding one of the area which we are implemented in the organization, which is explaining about the participative management and decentralization. For the additional details, we can upload, we can paste a link which contains, as I mentioned, if it is a request came from the students, what is the request letter, which committees are discussed, the minutes of that committee, what was the result towards to what level it is provided or suggested for the next level. And apart from that, after introducing one facility for students as based on their request, we want to check what is the result, what is the usage they are, what is the usage level which they are using the facility which provided by the college. That also had to be have to be uploaded here. And the facility, if in website, we can provide the website link directly for the additional information. So this is 6.1.2, which is need to be explained in terms of the leadership of the institution, which is visible in terms of participative management and decentralization. And the next one, that is 6.1.3, that sorry, 6.2, that comes under the second category of criteria 6, that is talking about the strategy deployment and development. That means every organization need to have a strategic plan. Based on the plan, we are running the organization. So here it is, we are going to explain the strategic plan or the perspective plan which we are effectively deployed. So other than planning, what we are implemented, one have to be discussed here. So it is just 2 marks, qualitative metrics. What we have to do is we have to write in a 500 words, one activity successfully implemented in the college based on the strategic plan. So strategic plan may conduct a different kind of area. As I mentioned, to meet the requirements of stakeholders, we may have different kind of plan. So it may be something related to society, something related to students, whatever it is, we have to write here one plan which we are implemented in the organization, in the institution, based on our strategic plan. So it may like industry collaboration or industry connect, research collaboration, outreach programs, anything can be added. Any problem, not any one which you are desirable to do. So the one activity which was implemented as a in explanation, we could write the aim of the program, what the purpose we are implemented, what the program, what are the different suggestions we have got, what is the current status of that particular program, whether we are carrying it, and what is the usage of it. That means how many of them are using it, what is the benefit they are receiving, how many beneficiaries are there when after starting right now, whether the beneficiary number of beneficiaries increasing or decreasing, and the timeline, whether it is for a long period of time like 1 year or 5 years, 10 years, and who is the responsible person, which committee or which organization, which authority is holding all this can be explained in the 500 words. Any program which comes under as a result of your strategic plan, it may be industry related, as I mentioned, research related, student related, or society related, anything which is related to any one of the stakeholder other than the benefit of management. So that should be in your mind when we are writing other than the benefit of management, we want to take any one which is benefited by the one of any our stakeholders. In file description, we have three options here. First one, the strategic plan and deployment documents on the website. So strategic plan should be there in the website, or perspective plan should be in the website, and that can link can be directly given. And the second option is link for additional information. So there also we can explain the one thing which we deployed or we implemented, like the reports, or like what kind of plan it was, how was the beneficiary, how we are evaluated the feedback system we followed, how we are evaluating the present system, what is the current status, all can be added in the second one. And additional information like the reports, as I mentioned, evaluations we are doing, what is the improvements we are planning to give, what is the suggestions we are taking, these kind of details can be given. So here the one thing which we want to make sure that is whatever the plan we are going to write, the activity which you are going to write, that should be beneficial for any one of the stakeholders of the organization or institute. That is the one thing which we want to take care in 6.2.1. Just 2 marks, just it's a qualitative metric, just 2 marks. And the next one is 6.2.2, that is talking about the functioning of the institutional bodies is effective and efficient as visible from policies, administrative setup, appointment, and service rules, procedures, etc. So here also it's something related to the management bodies, the organogram of the organization or the institution, where we have to describe the organogram of the institution for 500 words. So here we have to describe the organogram, that means structure of the management or the structure of the and the people who are part of the organization, how we are going to explain it in 500 words. So first, of course, we need to have an organogram which is covering all the statutory bodies which is suggesting by ICT, UGC, or other by NAC itself, like in different committees for students or faculties. Other than the top levels, can be added administrative setup, management board, governing council, IQAC, academic councils. Apart from that, we have to talk about the different kind of policies in an organization have, like quality policy, HR policy, research related policies, scholarships. So everything can be explained, but we have to combine all this into 500 words. And the organogram should be uploaded in the website, and the link has to be provided here as a supporting document. So in this question, as I mentioned, we need to have a proper organogram which is meeting all the statutory bodies or cells which is suggested by AICT, UGC, or any other legal requirements. We have to meet it, and that has to be explained over here for 500 words. Here, as I mentioned, file description, again, we have three options here. First one, we can paste the link for additional information, which includes the list of all the committees and cells we have, and the links can be directly, which the link can be directly provided to the website. So we can create a document or a page Excel or a word sheet which contains all these cells and committees name and the link towards the website. So in the website, it will be, if you're possible to upload the reports, minutes, photographs, events conducted by each department or each committee, that will be very better. So that is the first one. Second one, the link to the organogram in the office or institution's website. As I already mentioned, organogram should be uploaded in the website, and the link we have to give it directly. In the third option, we have any additional information we can give, the reports, minutes, which we are the some of the minutes or some of the front pages or sample copies of minutes. Some of the committees we are explaining earlier, administrative setup like management board, governing council, or IQAC, academic council. These cells or committees minutes can be uploaded as a report or a additional information for you. So this is 6.2.2, which is talking about a qualitative metrics carrying 4 marks. Okay, in 6.2.3, it's an optional metric. That means if the values is not enough for you, if after calculating, you can opt it out. And it's also quantitative metrics carrying 4 marks. It's talking about the e-governance system which we are implemented in the organization. So we don't want to talk about all the in e-governance system we are implemented. There are 4 specific areas listed by the NAC, that is administration, financial and accounts, student admission and support, and examinations. These are the 4 areas which are talking about the e-governance in an organization. In finance and accounts, every organization should have it, and examination and student admission support can be added, and admissions administration setup also some of the organization have it. So whatever we have different options to select. So these are the different options given as an answer. If we have all of the above, we will get 100 percentage, any three of 75 percentage of mark, any two 50 percentage, any one 25 percentage. So it's a quantitative metric. Of course, we have to upload some of the documents and supporting evidence while the DV is going on. So for that, we have this much of documents we have to upload. First one, ERP document. That is directly they're asking, that is the invoices and screenshots. The invoices which we have received from our vendor, taking about the year, which the date, amount, the college name, everything should be visible, and the screenshot of some of the user interface of the ERP can be added as a first one, ERP document. Second one, the screenshot of user interface of all these, not only ERP, here these are the four areas we need to have in an organization or institute: administration, finance and accounts, everything, every one e-governance system, we have to upload a screenshot in a single document. That is a screenshot of user interface. And user interface, when we are taking the screenshot, maybe a student's administration setup, we are using a software that maybe have a different kind of login from student side, faculty side, HOD level, or the super administration level. So each level we have to take a screenshot, and which is showing what are the different facilities available through the software or e-governance system we are following. And the next one is any additional information where we can add the expenditure and the installation of annual reports, e-governance policy, updation policy for each one, evaluation policy, everything. Expenditure, when we're talking about expenditure, each amount need to be represented in the financial auditor statement. We have to upload it after highlighting that particular area. We have to upload it. So that is any additional information. Here we can add annual report. It should be what's say expressed in the college annual report. The installation report can be get from the vendors. After installing any software, they will provide the installation report. After that, an yearly or annual report of the college, it should be added. Okay, and e-governance policy or update policy of that can be also added. And the last one, it's as I mentioned, it's a quantitative metrics. We have to complete one data template over here, and it include all these areas of a governance, the four areas of a governance which is listed by the Naac. So the first column we have to fill is the vendor name and contact number, and the second one is the year of implementation. Here we have to add all this, whether maybe we are using one software or one e-governance method which is suitable for three things. For example, examinations can be conducted in one software, and the same software as the student admission support can be done. So that's not a problem. We can list out the same thing again and again. Whether software or the system we are using is capable to meet all these requirements. That is the one thing we are evaluating in 6.2.3. Okay, and also as I said earlier, it's an optional metric. If it does not have, if you don't have these four areas or only one, you can eliminate it, but it's only for 4 marks. Okay, that is 6.2. Now we are moving to 6.3. That comes or related to faculty empowerment and strategies. As I mentioned, this is one area where the HR related things are being evaluated, and one of the top mark criteria in 6. We have 30 marks, and it is talking about all HR practices from the request of filling one vacancy. What is the process we are taking about the recruitment, how the policies, training, induction programs after recruitment, what are the trainings we are provided, what are the kind of motivations organization provided to pursue their knowledge or update their knowledge. All things will be evaluated in 6.3. The first question, a qualitative metrics, which is talking about the institution has effective welfare measures for teaching and non-teaching staff. Every organization have a welfare measures, different kind of welfare measures meeting different requirement of faculties and teaching and non-teaching staff. So what are the different welfare measures provided by the organization for its staff? So here, first we have to explain the 500 words of what are the different welfare measures which the college is providing to the staff of the organization, which can be included the list of or the table of everything, what all the welfare measures. I think every organization should have it in a pre-planned format, in a printed format of college authorized letterhead. So that can be also added, and we have to explain it in 500 words. And the file description can be provided here. The documents will be very, very huge. Suppose in case of our college, we have following 21 welfare measures for staff, including teaching and non-teaching. So what we have to do is we have to provide the financial supporting documents for all these 21 welfare measures. Suppose we are saying that we have paternity leave or maternity leave or ESI and PF benefit. For each one, we have to provide the supporting documents. Not all the documents, but we have to give at least sample documents. Of course, the quantitative metrics, they will come here and evaluate the HR executive or HR department regarding all these things. And also, while they are interacting with the teachers and non-teaching staff, of course, they will ask about the welfare measures. Suppose if there is a measure for faculty development, a financial support for faculty training, or any conference workshops, they will ask definitely how many of you received the financial support for conferences, how many of you received financial support for FDP, and what is it, the amount. There, of course, there will be some in the policy. There will be for assistant professor, this may be the highest amount. For professors, this might be the highest amount. So these all things need to be very aware about all faculties and non-teaching staff about what are the welfare measures which is the college is providing to them. So supporting documents, we can give the links, which as I mentioned, all the supporting documents we have to create and upload it. So the links can be given in a table format as a first supporting document, and additional information regarding the training programs provided by the organizations as a part of welfare measures, HR policy, leave policy, the staff who was what say beneficial about ESI benefits list, everything can be uploaded over here. So this is one area they are going to evaluate in qualitative metrics when they are coming for peer visiting in terms of discussions with the teachers and non-teaching staff. So that is the area, and also they will make a discussion with have a discussion with the HR executive regarding all this. They will check if you are saying that we have 30 welfare measures, and they will check how many of faculties or staff or non-teaching staff have been benefited about this for the last 5 years. If no one is benefited for one of the one welfare measures, that is outdated, we have to update it. So we have to very clear about all the welfare measures is very being aware about by the all the staff, and we have all the supporting documents regarding this one. So this is the area where the HR executive can face a question and the teachers have to answer in the discussion. The next one is 6.3.2. This is a quantitative metrics covering 10 marks. That is average percentage of teachers provided with financial support to attend conferences, workshops, and towards membership fees of professional bodies during the last 5 years. So of course, we know that for the development of faculty's knowledge, they will attend different kind of conferences, workshops, FDPs, training programs. So that can be provided. College can be funded, or they can support the faculties by providing financial assistance to the faculties. That can be a win-win approach for both the faculties and the management. Faculties can, in what say, what say, improve their knowledge and skills. At the same time, college can generate a point for Naac also. So here it's the quantitative metrics and 10 marks. Here, the first one, we have to give the number of teachers provided with financial support to attend conferences, workshops, and any other membership fees like management associations or any other professional bodies. If the college, the faculty is being a part and college is giving a portion of the amount, that also can be added here. Maybe the student or not the student, but the college, the teachers, or the any other professional bodies with being they're being a part, and the college is providing any part of the amount, that also can be added here. Suppose 5,000 rupees is a yearly fee for any professional body, and college is paying 2,000 rupees. That also can be listed over here. But in the document in the data template, we have to give what is the amount we are provided. Anyway, the file description, it include upload any information that can be added like this from the budget onwards. So it's we have to give the budget and what is the budgeted amount for that, and what is the policy document for the financial support towards the faculties. For example, in every organization, this kind of practices will be there, but they will be lacking in terms of policies. They may be getting some amount of financial support from the management, but the policy document may not be there. The budgeted amount for may not be there, and after that we can give the certificate copies, the fee receipts, and the photographs, the auditor statement. And if something amount we are saying in the budget and we are listing out here, that should be listed in the auditor statement, which we have to upload by highlighting the amount which provided to the faculties as a part of any kind of conferences. It may be workshops or any kind of this. And the data template which we have to provide, which include all this: the name of the teacher, year, name of the teacher, name of the conference or workshop they attended with the financial support provided by the organization, and name of the bodies or which membership, which body they are being member after paying the amount, and amount of support. This is the uh, data template we have to fill. But here, very simple, we can see that they are not going to evaluate the amount we are given. They're talking about average percentage of teachers provided with financial support. So rather than the amount, they're talking about how many of them are received the financial support. So if the college does not have a policy regarding that, prepare a policy for the financial support in terms of conferences, workshops, FDP, whatever, they can provide any financial support. The next one is another optional metric comes under 6.3.3, which having 5 weightage. It's a quantitative metric. Average number of professional development or administrative training programs organized by the institution for teaching and non-teaching staff during the last 5 years. So the earlier one, the just previous one, which is talking about the conferences, training, or professional development programs, which the faculty being a part with the financial support from the organization. Here, 6.3.3 talking about which are the programs organized by the institution exclusively for the teachers of the institution for the last 5 years. So as we have to complete a table here in the SSR by giving the total number of uh, programs organized by the college for the teachers for the last 5 years. And it can be added the file description if some of the colleges may be attending UGC sponsored programs by the colleges hosting it, or ASC, UGC or ASC or other relevant centers may be providing, which comes under RD centers. Report of the academic staff college or similar centers can be also added, and the other documents can be added like list of the programs, posters, photographs, certificates, the attendance sheet, feedback forms, and reports. So instead of saying that this program conducted by our college for faculties, we need to have this kind of documents. What is the poster? One photograph, poster, including the feedback form, attendance list, the feedback certificate copy, everything should be there. Then only that can be evaluated. That only help us for the DV evaluation. Otherwise, we have to provide it again for getting the score. As I mentioned, it's also an optional metric, but only for 5 marks. The file description also can be added. The training programs like the data templates look like this. Dates from to that we have to keep a minimum date, and title of the professional development programs organized for teachers separately and non-teaching staff separately we have to list, and number of participants have to give. Suppose an organization or college is organizing one program where the teachers of that organization can be a part, and also outside participation can be added. So at that time, that program can be listed here, but one thing we have to do, the number of participants, we have to give only the participants from our college. Suppose one organization, as I said, we are organizing one program, and 10 of us are being part of that, and also we are inviting 50 from outside. That can be listed here, but the number of participants should be the participants from our college. That is the only difference. That can be added, but participants need to be clear. 6.3.4, that's the next one. Average percentage of teachers undergoing online face-to-face FDP during the last 5 years. So 6.3.2 talking about financial support for FDP and other conferences, workshops. 3.3 that is trainings and other programs provided by the college. 3.4 talking about the FDP and other online or face-to-face programs undergoing by teachers by their own role. It may be a professional development program, orientation program, or induction program, refresher course, short-term course. And here it should be minimum 5 days. Then only it can be counted here. Other things are okay for one day, okay, but here we have to give the programs, FDP or any training programs which need to have a duration of 5 days. Total number of teachers attending professional development program that we have to complete a table while we are uploading in SSR. And here we have to give the IQAC report summary as a file description. So in that report summary, in the minutes, everything it should promote the FDP and professional development programs training should be there in the IQAC report summary. So when we are having an IQAC meeting, put up this idea FDP, we have to promote the FDPs and PDPs for the organization or the teachers. So that has to be mentioned in the IQAC report summary. And also reports of the HRD centers like UGC and ASC can be added, and upload any other additional information like certificates. Of course, we have to provide certificates, and the photographs, posters, if we have brochures, we have. Without certificates mentioning about dates, this value will not be get after the DVB. So for the valuation, this documents is required. First one, the IQAC report summary, where we need to have a talk about the FDP and promoting the FDP. They can attend the FDP in different policy. Here you can create a different policies related to FDP attending regarding the leave policy. If I have to attend a 5 days FDP, what will be the number of leaves or any other supports? This kind of policy also can be generated and that has to be uploaded here as supporting document. It's a quantitative metric, as I mentioned, for 5 marks. This is the template we have to upload. Number of teachers, title of the program, duration from 2. So duration less than 5 days will not be counted. We have to upload the documents, upload the details regarding that, like brochures, certificates for the DVB. Only after that, the score will be there. It's only for 5 marks. And 6.3.5, that is the institutional performance appraisal system for teaching and non-teaching staff. This is the area where the HR executives or HR department want to contribute towards, and it include all the things, what kind or what method of appraisal system we are following, how it is taking place, what is the process, who are the responsible person, what is the interval of it, how it is going to rectify after the evaluation, how we are going to provide any assistance, any further guidance, trainings, everything should be explained here. The first question, it's a qualitative metric for 5 marks. We have to explain the performance appraisal system of our institution for 500 words for both teaching and non-teaching. Not only for teachers, we have to add performance appraisal system for non-teaching staff also. So it include, we can add the method of appraisal system we are following, whether it is 360 approach or any approach we are following, whether it's Naac based approach, any method we are following, we have to give a description about what method we are following and what are the periods we are going to evaluate and who want to report first, what is the process, what is the procedure, who is taking the responsibility of evaluating it. Everything need to be explained in the 500 words. And as it's a file description or a supporting document, what are the things we can give is appraisal form, which we are using for maybe some softwares we are using. So that screenshot, that user interface can be added. If it is different for format for teachers and non-teaching or different levels of teachers, maybe a different format for professor, different format for assistant professor. So any methods or any forms that can be uploaded, and also feedback form for faculties and non-teaching staff also can be uploaded. And in additional information, HR policy, in HR policy, there should be the appraisal form should be explained. What kind of appraisal form we are following, what is the process, who are responsible for taking this, what is the time period to be completed, what are the periodic evaluation we are taking, what kind of feedback system we are following, that all should come under HR policy. So that also can be uploaded as a supporting document for 6.3.5. So this is 6.3, which is talking about the faculty development and improvement. And 6.4, that is the fourth sub criteria, comes under criteria 6. Here it's talking about the financial management and resource mobilization, where the financial department or finance department or accounts department need to be a part of NAC accreditation. This is just evaluating what are the different sources we received and how we are utilizing it for the development, not only for the development of management, for the stakeholders, how it is going to benefit for students, what are the different areas we are utilizing for academic purposes. Likewise, so we have 6.4.1, the qualitative metrics again. Institution conducts internal and external financial audits regularly. So here we have to explain what kind of internal audit system we are following and what is the process of external audit system. So enumerate the various internal and external financial audits carried out during the last 5 years. The mechanism should be the, that means the process, and also if some objections are there, what is the settlement mechanism for correcting that. That also we have to mention, we have to explain in 500 words. In the 500 words description, that can be included the method of internal system and external audit system we are following, the objective of both internal and external audits, objection settling, that means if any objections after the internal audit is there, how we are going to settle it, and the period of internal audits and reporting process, reports we are generating, and the process. there should be a process which is mentioned in finance department regarding the internal and external audit. So that also can be given as can be taken for the 500 words completion. Okay, different kind of audit systems are there, methods are there. So which one we are following and what is objective, and if some objections or clarifications needed, what is the settlement method we have, what is the period which we use to follow the external and internal audit. Maybe in external audit may be once in a year, but internal audit maybe three or four or two in a year. So what kind of period we are following and what kind of reports we are generating, and the internal audit report to whom it want to submit it, what is the policy process, everything need to be explained in this particular criteria. And in file description, we can upload the internal and external audit reports. And also in upload any additional informations, we can give the details regarding finance committee and the minutes, reports, and other financial statements of if any settlement is any objection is there. In the report, there will be a report of settlement. So that can also added here. So these are the documents which they are looking for or the NAC is looking for evaluating this. And of course, they when the peer team visit is going on, the finance department can expect a meeting regarding this. What is the process we are following? Suppose one settlement is there after object is there after the internal audit, who can be taken it? How it is going to solve? Who is responsible for what? Who want to be report to that? Like these things can be asked after in the during the peer team visit in 6.4.1 regarding the internal and external financial audit. In 4.2, that is 6.4.2, this is also an optional metric which having a 6 weightage or 6 marks, talking about the funds and grants received from non-governmental bodies, individuals, philanthropists during the last 5 years, not covered in criteria 3. In criteria 3, we are also talking about the funds and grants received from the government bodies. Here, it is non-governmental bodies. So like maybe any non-governmental bodies which providing financial support for doing some project, for any financial support for completing any particular task, projects, studies, or the individuals, anywhere, what is the amount we are received from any of these bodies that can be given here. And while giving the it's a quantitative matrix, we have to complete the data template. While uploading the data template in the DVB, they will evaluate all these things. Annual statement of accounts with highlighting the grant. We are saying that 10,000 rupees from an organization for a particular study we are received. That should be that should be there in the account statement, and also we have to highlight it and upload it. And in additional informations, we can give. Suppose if it is the college received some particular fund for any event or any project or any study. In additional information, we can give that what is the amount received and what is the program or event we are taken place or what is the study we are taken place. The report of that one that should be in the website. If it is in the website, we can give the website link, the statement, the financial statement showing the amount, and the separate ledger account of this particular program or study. That also can be added here. And in data template, we have to submit all this, the year which we received them, the amount, name of the non-governmental bodies which they funded, the purpose of the grant. Here they are specifically saying that we can't suppose the alumni of the institute provided a particular what's say 100 chairs to the organization, that can be considered as a grant. So it should be in the form of finance or what's say fund that can be used for purchasing some other things. That is not a problem. But in terms of infrastructure and softwares, that can be added into the funds and grants received here. It should be in the form of finance, but that can be used here. That is mentioned by this purpose of the grant. If you're receiving a particular amount from any source, any organization or non-governmental bodies, and we are utilizing it for the student welfare, that can be given purpose of the grant. And what is the amount we have received? It should be represented in lakhs and link for audited statement or accounting reflecting the receipt. So for each grant, we have to upload, we have to paste the link after uploading it somewhere in the server. We have to paste the link which is highlighted the amount we have received specifically in each year. So this is the area where they are looking for the different funds or different sources of amount we are received other than the governmental bodies or the organization, which they can use anywhere. That's not a problem where we are using it, but it should be received from any other source than non-governmental bodies. And one more thing, in SOP, it's very clear that the sister concerns donations or transfer of funds can be considered as funds and grants. Okay, if we're having 4 different institutions running in a single management and one institution is transferring the fund to another one, that can be taken here as funds and grants, and also in form of uh, what's infrastructure and softwares also will not count here in the funds and grants received from non-governmental bodies. Okay, the next one is 6.4.3, which is talking about the institutional strategies for mobilization of funds and optimum utilization of resources. This is also an optional metrics, qualitative metrics for 6 marks. So here we have to explain in 500 marks what are the different sources of the what's it or to the organization, and what are the different mobilizations or resource mobilization policies which the organization have. So that means different sources. Every organization will have different sources for finance. So what are the different sources? And after receiving all this fund, what are the policies or how we are going to mobilize it, and what are the different policies for that? So every organization will have it different sources. They will utilize it, but the lacking area is the policies for each and every one. We need to have a policy document for each and every purpose of using the fund, whether it is for scholarship, whether it is for student development, student programs, projects, studies, everything we need to have a separate policies. So the things which we can add in the 500 words explanation, it's not performance appraisal. Okay, the resource mobilization policies which the organization have, the procedure for that, the major sources of receipts and funding, explanation about the spending, and match with the perspective plan. Here, as I said, till the end of the criteria, they are going to evaluate whether each and everything is contributing towards the mission and perspective plan of the organization. So in a perspective plan, if you're saying that we need to promote the organized students by providing different kind of opportunities, so the funds we need to utilize it for. So that has to be when we have to be very clear when we are saying it. If we are saying that this much of fund utilized for this purpose, that should be as a part of perspective plan or strategy plan of the organization. So that is the 500 word explanation we can give for this one. And the file description, they are talking about the external audit report, which is talking about the different source of fund and different areas of usage. And the areas of usage in external audit report, the major problem is so many expenses comes under a single head. Maybe everything, every single amount we are spending towards students comes under student expenditure. Instead of that, we can give or we can split the uh, head into different terms: students academic improvement, student facility improvement, or any student project improvement, student outside project studies. Likewise, we can divide the heads into different heads or different subheads. That will see we are utilizing this for various purposes. Instead of giving this, we are utilizing all these funds for students development. So that can be improved in finance department, and we have to provide the income and expenditure account, receipts and payment account, which provide the finance, what's it, which all the areas we have provided or utilize the resources in terms of funds or any other resources for the students. So which has to be what's it, highlighted in the statement, and we have to upload it. So the thing is, this is the area where the every organization, every institute will have it, but the lacking area is the policy we need to have, and the financial statement. Each and every expenses should be comes under specific heads. The purchasing or the supporting of academic purpose need to be student academic supporting or what's the improvement. The another, for example, for like cultural or arts, anything that's up, we are using that fund or grant or whatever the resources we have for the development, that should be specifically recorded in the financial statement. Instead of giving in a single head, we can go for different heads. That is 6.4, that is a resource mobilization. And 6.5, that is talking about the IQAC, that is internal quality assurance cell or assurance system. Here we have 3 criteria or 3 sub-criteria, each for 10 marks, and 2 of them are qualitative metrics and 1 is quantitative metrics. The first one is talking about the IQAC has contributed significantly for institutionalizing the quality assurance strategies and processes. So we know that the purpose of IQAC are they are going to evaluate by these three points or three sub criteria. The first question directly asking about the areas which IQAC has contributed for the quality assurance strategies and process towards the organization or institution. So first one, we have to explain in 500 words as a result of institutionalized as a result of IQAC initiatives within the organization. So any two practices which taken place in the institution as a result of IQAC initiative. Any two policy or any two practice, any two programs, any two practices. It may be a performance appraisal system. A new performance appraisal system is or let's say suggested by or initiated by IQAC, or a new student evaluation system, or anything which is contributed by or initiated by IQAC can be added here. Any two we have to explain, and others we can give in supporting documents. So it may be as a research policy or research development, maybe as an initiative of IQAC, or research centers coming in your organization or institute, or a research new policy which is promoting the faculties and students involvement, faculty development or faculty improvement, providing trainings or promoting them to attend trainings. Anything for faculty improvement that also can be here. Student improvement, community development programs, outreach programs, everything which is comes as a result of IQAC initiatives. Any two of them are the initiatives we have to explain here in 500 words. And supporting documents, we have to provide the documents contain the links to all initiatives by the IQAC and the reports which is giving the genuinity of these initiatives. And the second one, all these programs we can list in the website as an in under the IQAC the initiatives. So the link for directly to the IQAC website can be given, or any other document which is giving the initiatives. Maybe the minutes of IQAC also can be given, which is we are discuss all these things. So IQAC cell, IQAC minutes, everything can be given. So the one thing which we have to look here is anything which need to be anything which is contributed by IQAC can be given. Any two of this have to be explained here. The remaining things can be listed in the supporting document. In 6.5.2, this is a huge one. The institution reviews its teaching, learning process, structures, and methodologies of operations and learning outcome at periodic interval through IQAC setup as norms and recorded in incremental improvement in various activities. For the first cycle, there are some, what say, acquire and all the things is not required to upload over here. In the supporting document, they are asking for all these things. So here it is how IQS is contributing towards the institutional reviews, its teaching learning process or the structure, methodologies of learning, evaluating learning outcomes. How IQS is contributing towards that. That we have to explain in 500 words. That can be included the programs initiated for uh, teaching learning process, structure which we are following, like or the how we are going to evaluating the outcomes, whether it is a direct evaluation or indirect measures we are utilizing, add-on programs contributed by IQAC, different MOUs and AMCs introduced initiated by IQAC, and student participation research. Likewise, what any things which is contributing towards the learning process or the evaluation process of it can be listed over here. Any two initiative we have to explain in 500 words. Any of this, maybe evaluation process, maybe IQAC come up with a new evaluation of the students rather than the traditional format. We can go with the updated format that also can be listed here. If the research participation of students participation research activities, that also can be listed here. And the documents, supporting documents, we have to give the kind of links which contain all the initiative of IQAC, and specifically for additional information, we can give the reports and evaluation of the initiatives, which is talking about the two initiatives, which is given in the 500 words description. And when we are talking about an initiative, in the explanation we have or the additional information we have to give when it is initiated, what is the current status, who are the beneficiaries, whether we are evaluating it, what is the feedback we are following for it, everything should be there. Instead of just giving that we initiated this and the other things, we have whether we are following it, what is the improvement we made, what kind of feedback system we are following for it, everything should be there. It should be clear, what say, from 0 to 100% clear in every area. Okay, the current status is very important when we are uploading the file description. Okay, and the current status should be same as when we initiated. There should be some improvements happened by the gap of years. So that can be given as the improvements provided by later years after the getting the feedback, after the feedback evaluation, feedback mechanism, we have made these kind of changes that can be given in 6.5.2. And the last one, which comes under the criteria 6, that is 6.5.3, it's a quantitative metrics regarding the quality assurance initiative of the institution include. It's not talking about the IQAC only, the total qualitative quality assurance initiatives, the other accreditations, other registration in different bodies of government can be listed out here. And they're talking about these three things: regular meeting of IQAC, and the feedback collected, how it is analyzed, and how it is used for improvisation or improvements. That is the first thing. Second one, collaborative quality initiative with other institutions like universities or international universities or other institutions. What is the collaborative quality initiatives we have with the other institutions other than the sister concerns? Okay, and participation in NIRF. Of course, I'm thinking majority of organizations are registered for NIRF nowadays. So participation of NIRF for the last 5 years, for each year we have to give. It's a data template. In data template, we have to explain all the things. And any other quality auditor recognized by state or national or international agencies like ISO certification or NBA accreditation, we have to list here. By this sub criteria, they are evaluating all the quality assurance, not only by IQAC, not only by Naac, whether it is list of part of NIRF, ISO certified or NBA accredited, all things will be evaluated. And we will get 100% mark if we have all this above, whether we have a collaborative, what's quality collaborative with some other institution regarding faculty exchange programs, student exchange programs, and any of three we have 75 percentage, any two we have 50 percentage, and any one we have 25 percentage score. And in file description, that means we have to upload it's a, as I mentioned, it's a call data template have to be filled. And apart from that, these are the documents which they are seeking in this particular criteria, which can be given. The first one, the annual report of the institution, which is need to be explained about the all the quality initiative, whether it is a part of IQAC, NAC, NIRF, ISO, or NAC accreditation or NBA accreditation, whatever it is, everything should be explained in annual report of the institution. And that upload the e-copies of the accreditation and certifications, maybe ISO certification or any other certification we have, we need to upload the e-copies and upload any additional information that can be the IQAC regular meetings or the quality of, let's say, collaborative documents with the other institution, feedback which we are collecting, what kind of feedback, from who all we are collecting feedback, and how we are evaluating feedback, and how we are going to utilize, how we are utilizing that feedback for the improvement of the college. These all the things can be used as the additional information. And the last, we have to complete this data template, which include all these things, which year, in each year, whether we are having the regular meeting of IQAC, the number of meetings of IQAC have to be listed here. The conferences, workshops, seminars on quality specifically, they're asking about the conferences on quality, seminars on quality, workshops on quality as conducted in the organization. Collaborative quality initiatives with other institutions, we have to provide the name of the institution and the activity which we are collaborated with the other organization or institution. Participation of NIRF along with status. For example, in the year 2018, we have participated in NIRF. That can be given in the year in 2018. We have what is the status, and in each year, if it is maintained or not, or listed or not, we can give in the NIRF status. And orientation program on quality issues for teachers and students. So here, all the quality assurance, the training, seminars, workshops provided in quality can be listed. So that is here asking orientation programs on quality issues for teachers and students can be listed out here. For each year, we are conducting one or two programs that can be listed here. And any other quality audits like NBA or ISO certification, if we have, we can give it. Whether ISO certificate for certified for each year, that can be listed. NBA certified, that can be listed. For last 5 years, we have to give it. In the demo, I just given 2 years area here. For the 5 years, we can give how many numbers of IQAC meetings we are held, how many conferences we are conducted, how many collaborative activities we are done with other institutions, whether we are participated in NIRF or not, how many programs for students on quality we are conducted, and whether we are ISO certified or an NBA accredited. That can be given here. So that is 6.5.3, which is talking about all qualitative assurance by the part of institution, not only by AQSC, but all as a total institutional quality assurance. What are the steps the institution has taken in terms of conducting programs, in terms of registering different organizations or participating different kind of accreditations? What is the institution taken place in terms of quality will be listed here. So this is 6.5.3. By this, we'll reach the end of the criteria 6, which is talking about the governance, management, and leadership. So if you have any queries or
Yes, good afternoon, all of you. I think the faculty crowd is a little bit silent. It is because it is a you believe that it is actually a management. It is for the management. My dear faculty colleagues, it is not basically with management. Yes, it is basically for management, but you are the people who are responsible for that. For example, if you want to get your finance statement, the finance manager will give you a statement, but that statement cannot be uploaded, because he may have his own priorities, and that priorities are not basically for Naac. So you has to be a person who have to tell him as to what is required in your financial statement. If it is FTP is there, FTP has to be recorded in the same way. If you don't do it, then you are in trouble. Your Naac will not happen. Okay, so that is where the faculty's importance, even though management is responsible for quality initiative, management is responsible for all these type of things which are required, still the role of faculty members is very important. You have to guide them because we are moving towards quality and your role is very important. Sir, could you please give the list of policy documents required? Yeah, I think I've already shared, I think in one of the slides, we have shared what are the list of policy, maybe, yeah.
Policy include everything that from the let's say fund receiving quality policy, HR policy, FDP policy, like every part, stakeholders, every area we are utilizing any resource, whether it is financial resources or any other resources we are utilizing, there should be some policies. So that is the one area where the colleges are lacking. They have the practice, they used to have it, their maintenance, like maintenance or anything. They have the practice, but for that we need to have a policy document. Then only we can make it say that we are planned it through the policy and practices we are achieving it. Otherwise, it's a chance of time. What it's happened by chance. The NEC will say it's happened by chance. If we have a correct amount of budgeted amount, we have correct policy and procedure, and we have the report after completing it. Then we can say that this is what we planned. This is how we executed. This is how we achieved.
When I explain a little bit on policy, let me tell you that policy is basically in management, we have one of the function is basically controlling. And in controlling, one of the things that is used for controlling, apart from rules and regulations, is basically policy. When you write a policy document, you have to adhere to that. And it is what the management will write actually a policy document. It has to be ratified. You cannot just like that come out with a policy, create a policy document, ratify it, make the management also responsible for such policy, whether it is an HR policy or maintenance policy or whatever it may be, make them responsible and follow that. That is what it means by a policy. And you can have any number of policies, but there are certain policies which are required according to Naac. Okay, that is mandatory. Rest of the policies, it is up to the institution to develop. Now, the advantage of policy is that it gives you an order. For example, if you have a scholarship policy, you can very well show to the students, that there is a scholarship policy in place, And if you qualify for that, you are getting that scholarship. Then there is no problem. So it is always better that you have a policy in place. Wherever you find some gray areas are coming across, have a policy, maintenance policy. Now it's very easy. If you have a maintenance policy, very easy to identify what are the things, that is required for maintenance, and you can follow it very easily. So over that period of time, an institution should develop actually a large number of policies. Okay. For example, another in HR, we may have faculty policy. Okay. For example, faculty recruitment policy. So if you have a faculty recruitment policy, then you can look at what is the workload and all those things. And based on that, when faculty can be recruited, all those things can be there. Training policy, if it is there, you can say that your faculty members are undergoing so much of days of training. So all that will definitely help you to go a long way in developing good quality institution. Anything? Let me check. There are certain other questions also. List of, definitely we will try to share that list also, no problem. What is the minimum duration of orientation program on quality? There is no particular day in the sense, in the sense, see, either you can have it as a training program, or if you want, you can have it as a development program. All those things, if it is a development program, I would suggest it is 5 days, then you will get recognized. Otherwise, you can have, based on your policy, you can have the number of days also. There is nothing like that. But if you're doing it properly, for example, you are conducting a policy on ERP policy is there. You want to explain to your ERP and have a big list. In fact, so many things are going to ERP. So it may take 5 days, and give actually a certificate also for the faculty members who attend it. So that all depends upon the organization as to how they could take it forward. Okay. I think, Mohammed Jasir has been giving you elaborately about all these things. But I have not found, so many people responding, because you are thinking that it is a management's job. It is not a management's job. You have to convince the management. That is again and again, I am telling you. See, usually I know very well that when Mohammed Jasir was working on the SSR, he used to go from pillar to post. He would go to actually the finance manager and ask him, and then the finance manager will say, this is what I have. But, he cannot upload it. Then fortunately, the criteria for leader also runs around, because he also wants to have certain things in certain place. And then you're presenting actually when you go for a financial statement, the problem is the finance manager cannot alter that statement because it is given 3 years back or 5 years back. So within that, he has to create whatever things has been given, and based on that only. So these things, you cannot get it from the finance manager, and finance manager may not go according to your criteria. He doesn't bother about Naac. For him, Naac is not a botheration. Who's bothered? Faculty member. As long as the quality control department or if the faculty member is there, he or she has to run around for all these things. Okay. Yeah. Then what anything else? So work on this. Don't think that, criteria 6 is actually a very simple one. It is not at all simple. Because, when you start writing, and PTV, when the peer team comes to visit the campus, then only you will have difficulty. When you're writing this, you may, okay, I can write whatever I want. When the peer team comes to the campus, you will have a difficult time. They will say, why you don't have, if you do not have a proper HR policy, they will ask you why you are not having it. So many people are working here. Why you don't have it? Why there is a no leave policy? And you go, see, when you call these faculty members and staff for a PTV, will call them for a meeting. During that time, they will ask, how many days maternity leave do you get? Where is this maternity leave written? It is written leave policy. And who is supposed to do it? HR manager has to do it. The HR manager, it's the HR manager running around for Naac? No, only the faculty members will run around for Naac. So this is something where I think you have to tell the management that these things are required. If you don't tell them, you will run around. Management will ask you only to work on Naac. And then you can complain, both of you can complain each other, and finally nothing will happen. That's all. Okay. Anyway, I think Mohammed Jasir has done a wonderful work. He has studied it. He has done it. I know what pains he has taken, when he was working on criteria 6, and he has been able to share all that to you also. And I hope you have all benefited from that. Whatever I have also put in some chat also as to what all things are required. Like for example, ACTL ranking. That is another ranking that you can think of improving the quality. NIRF. NIRF again, if you get a good score in NIRF, many things are overlooked because your score is there. So these are all things that you could ensure that the institution is going the right direction with the quality programs and all those things. Anything else? If there is no other question, I'm handing it over to IQAC coordinator, Ms. Naina.
So I think no more questions. So we can wind up the session. Thank you.